You're listening to the Simplify Business with Bryony podcast. I help simplify business and marketing for time-poor busy women who run passion-fueled businesses. Listen in each week as I share bite-sized business tips designed to not only empower you, but to help make your business life simpler. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Simplify Your Business with Bryony podcast. Guys, when I first started my very first passion-filled business, I'd stepped out of a corporate role, and many of you have already heard this story. But what I tried to do was do exactly what I had been a part of. I wasn't being an entrepreneur, I was copying, okay? And because I just was trying to do a carbon copy, but in a different space, and I was the CEO, I brought along all the problems that I'd had being an employee for somebody else. You know, I thought success meant working harder and doing more and saying yes to everything. But the more I achieved in my brand new business, the more exhausted I felt, and I couldn't actually get a handle on anything. And the biggest shift came from when I realized I was actually chasing someone else's version of success. That business I was trying to build wasn't my vision, not at all. Today, I'm going to be talking about why traditional success models, the 9-to-5s, the shiny office, okay, why they often lead to burnout, and how you can create a success plan for your passion-filled business that fits your life, your family, if you have one, and your values. A lot of women build a business, and then in order to grow, what they do is they look at those models that are out there, the ones that we see, the ones that you dream about, right? With the big offices and the awards. And the problem with that is a one-size-fits-all way of growing a business. And what that does is it ignores your personal circumstances, like having children or managing relationships or prioritizing health. And there's a good chance that you started your business for freedom. And that traditional model of business doesn't actually allow for freedom. That traditional model has you tied to your desk 9 to 5. And so one of the first things that often happens when these women come to me is, once we move past the fact that they feel like a failure, is we actually have a look at why they started their business. I ask them, well, what does success look like to you? What does success feel like to you? And more often than not, they feel unsuccessful because they are defining success by external achievements, money, or how many staff they have, or how many awards they have, without actually asking the question, well, does this make me happy? Does what I'm doing right now, does this business that I'm running fulfill me? Now, I do have a client who, when she came to me, she was making like $300K, huge amounts of money, but she felt unsuccessful. And do you know why she felt unsuccessful? She felt like a failure because she couldn't take a holiday with her family. Every time she'd book it, she could not get on the plane because she hadn't set the business up to manage without her. And so she felt like a failure as a business owner and a failure as a parent. So what we did was, for the initial time of working together, we actually built her business in a way that allowed her to take a holiday, to step out, to get on the plane, and to switch off as much as anyone can switch off when you're running a large business. And the messages and the pictures and our chats afterward is why it's so important to define success in ways that matter to you. And do you want to know the most fascinating thing that happens? It's not just happened to this particular client, it's happened to actually a few people I know, is when they step out of the business makes more money. Sometimes us being in the way, doing all the things, is actually problematic to growth. So here's what we're going to get down to this week is rewriting your definition of success. Because success doesn't have to mean sacrificing your well-being or time with your family. You shouldn't be missing the gym. You shouldn't be missing date night. You should be able to go and live your life doing what you love. So what I want to ask you right now is, what does success actually look like for you? Close your eyes and have a think. Feel it in your soul. What does success look like for you? Now, there are 3 pillars of an aligned success plan. If you've been listening along for a while, you know that I don't just talk concepts. I'm going to show you how to match that. I don't just talk concepts. I'm going to actually show you the steps you need in order to reach that. And the first is clarity. Knowing what you want and why it matters. And I don't actually want you to just pull your goals out of the air. I want your goals to be aligned to your values. There's no point setting a financial goal of $500,000 if that means that you will never see your family, if you really want to be a present mum. Those don't align. Okay? So knowing what you want and why it matters. Secondly, and you hear me say this a lot. In fact, I said this to a woman I know at the pool the other day, okay? Boundaries. Prioritizing what matters most and saying no to what doesn't. The biggest thing I learned was that I'm only in charge of myself. I'm the oldest of 10. Do you know how hard that lesson was to unlearn? But trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Set your boundaries and say no. Thirdly, is sustainability. Building a business that works for you, not one that constantly drains you. You know, people often say to me, well, Bryony, that's great in theory, but practically that's not possible. I'm here to tell you, not only is it possible, I've lived it myself. So I'm going to give you an example of my success plan with my previous business that balanced business and personal life. Once I realized that I could actually make pretty good money from my children's entertainment company, then there was no cap. And that's where the problems come, because I lost my vision. So when it came time for me to actually sit down and write my own success plan, I realized that I needed to get really clear. I wanted the kids to be in daycare some days so I could work a lot those days, and then I wanted to be present during the week, so 2 days a week. Secondly, all my income was predominantly coming in on the weekends, so that's when all my money had to be made. So previously I was freaking out trying to run a business in a traditional way and finding all these caps, but once I realized, well, I set myself a financial goal that would make me feel successful, and then I got about removing myself from the business, so I wasn't the one running the parties, because it turned out whilst I was really, really great at it, I was getting burnt out and I wasn't being present with the kids during the week when I wanted to be off with them. And all of a sudden, my business flourished because I wasn't lost in the day-to-day. I was leading and I was hitting my goals. I was present with my family the way I wanted to be. My business was growing, had a great reputation. I wasn't doing the tasks I didn't want to do, and I was able to build relationships, which is the part of the business I really wanted to do, okay? So I was able to balance my business and my personal life and feel really successful. So, and this is what I want to talk with you all about. This coming week, I am running a free 5-day challenge. Now, I know 5 days sounds like a lot, and I've really grappled with this, but each segment is 10 minutes, okay? So 10 minutes delivered to your inbox. You listen, you do the task, you share the task, okay? And what this challenge is about is your chance to create a success plan that doesn't just live in your head. I'm going to get you to build a success plan for your business that becomes a reality. And the way in which we're going to do this is you've got guided activities, community support, and actionable steps to avoid burnout. because I've discovered that I'm really, really great in terms of showing people how to make more money in their business. That is a skill I have. Marketing's my jam. Sales I love. But the bit that's missing as I get these women to grow is actually how to avoid burnout. And so I've taken a big chunk of what I've learned in this space and I'm sharing it with you. And what you're going to walk away from after this 5-day challenge is a clear, actionable plan for your life and your business that aligns with your priorities. Less overwhelm, more focus, and a feeling of control. So I want to introduce you to my brand new 5K Profit Month Blueprint Challenge. It's a mouthful and I don't care. That is what we're aiming for, guys. Sustainable income on your terms. So if you're ready to redefine success and start building a life and business that feels fulfilling, join my upcoming challenge. It's all about helping you take control, reduce burnout, and create a success plan on your terms. So if that sounds like something you'd like to be a part of, 10 minutes a day delivered to your inbox, then head to the link in the show notes and sign up now. We start on Sunday, that's day 0. That's when the workbook's released. And then the first content is dripped out on Monday, the 25th of November. If you join late, you can absolutely catch up. But once the challenge is run, I'll be pulling down the content. So you only have a small window of time to actually take action and implement with my help. What I want to leave you with is this today. Burnout doesn't have to be your story. With the right plan, the right focus, success can feel good in your business, not exhausting. You deserve a business and a life that feels right for you, and I can't wait to help you make that happen. Have a great week, everyone, and I can't wait to see you over in the challenge. Bye.